My name is Dr. Richard Hayes. I am 87 years old, and I want to show you something today that most doctors will never tell you, because most doctors are too busy treating disease to teach you how to prevent it. I have spent over 60 years in medicine. I have watched thousands of patients age. Some of them reach their 80s and 90s sharp, strong, and completely independent. Others were in wheelchairs by 70. The difference was almost never genetics. It was almost never luck. It was movement. Specific, intentional, daily movement. Not the kind gyms sell you. Not the kind that leaves you exhausted and sore. The kind that works silently every single morning to keep your joints fluid, your muscles active, and your brain connected to your body. I have done these 6 movements every single morning for the last 34 years. I do not skip them, not when I travel, not when I am tired, not when the weather is bad. Because the day you stop moving is the day your body starts forgetting how. Let me show you exactly what I do, and more importantly, why it works. The first thing I do every morning, before coffee, before anything, is this. I walk from one end of my hallway to the other in a straight line, placing each foot directly in front of the other. Heel touching toe with every step. Arms out to the sides, eyes forward. It takes about 45 seconds. Most people have never tried this. And when they do for the first time, they are shocked at how difficult it is. Here is why this matters so much. As we age, the communication between our feet and our brain begins to slow down. The tiny nerve endings on the soles of your feet, called mechanoreceptors, send balance signals to your cerebellum constantly. But years of flat shoes, soft carpets, and smooth floors have made these nerves lazy. When you walk heel to toe, you force your entire balance system to wake up. Your ankles stabilize. Your core engages, your brain fires rapidly, recalculating your center of gravity with every single step. A study from the University of Sydney found that older adults who practice tandem walking daily reduced their fall risk by 52% within just 8 weeks. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death in adults over 65. This one simple hallway walk, 45 seconds every morning, directly attacks that risk. Start near a wall. Use your fingertips for support if needed. Over time, try it with your eyes closed for a few steps. The challenge is the point. The challenge is what keeps your brain young. The second movement I do takes exactly 90 seconds and has saved my spine from decades of morning stiffness. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Let your chin drop slowly to your chest, then one vertebra at a time, roll your spine downward, chest, ribs, lower back, until your hands are hanging toward the floor. Do not force it, do not bounce. Just let gravity do the work. Hold at the bottom for 5 slow breaths. Then press your feet into the floor and rise back up the same way, lower back first, then ribs, then chest, then head comes up last. Repeat this 3 times. What is happening inside your body during this movement is remarkable. Your spinal discs, the soft cushions between each vertebra, compress slightly during sleep due to prolonged stillness. This morning roll gently decompresses them, allowing fluid to re-enter and restoring their full height and flexibility. Research published in the Journal of Orthopedic Research showed that this type of slow spinal flexion and extension in the morning significantly reduces disc degeneration in adults over 60 compared to those who remain sedentary after waking. After this movement, I stand 2 centimeters taller than when I woke up. The discs have space, the nerves have room. The back pain that plagued me in my 50s has not returned in over 30 years. This is the movement I wish someone had taught me at 40. I sit on the edge of my bed for this one. No floor required. Sit upright. Place your right ankle on top of your left knee, like a figure 4 position. Now, with a straight back, slowly lean your torso forward until you feel a deep stretch in your right hip and glute. Hold for 30 seconds. Breathe deeply. Switch sides. Simple, quiet, extraordinarily powerful. Here's the problem most people over 50 are facing without knowing it. The hip flexors and the piriformis muscle, deep inside your glute, are chronically tight in almost every adult who sits regularly. And in today's world, that means almost everyone. When these muscles tighten, they pull on the pelvis. The pelvis tilts, the lower back compensates, and suddenly you have back pain, hip pain, and knee pain, all originating from one small ignored muscle deep in your hip. This seated stretch directly releases that muscle every single morning before your body has a chance to lock into its daily patterns. A clinical trial at Stanford Medical Center found that adults over 65 who performed daily hip mobility work had 61% less lower back pain after 3 months and walked with a significantly more upright, confident posture, 30 seconds each side, done from the edge of your bed. That is the entire investment. This one surprises people when I tell them about it, because it looks like nothing is happening. Stand facing a wall. Place both palms flat against it at chest height. Now push as hard as you comfortably can, as if you were trying to move the wall. Hold that push for 10 seconds, relax for 5 seconds, repeat 5 times. That is it. The wall does not move, but your body changes significantly. This is called isometric exercise, muscle contraction without movement. And for adults over 60, the research on isometric training is extraordinary. A landmark study from McMaster University found that isometric wall exercises performed for just 2 minutes daily lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 10 points, more effectively than aerobic exercise or most blood pressure medications. Beyond blood pressure, this movement activates the deep, stabilizing muscles of your chest, shoulders, and core without placing any stress on your joints. There is no impact, no risk of injury, no equipment needed. For someone with arthritis, osteoporosis, or a history of joint problems, this is one of the safest and most effective strength exercises available. Your muscles do not care whether they are moving a weight or pushing against an immovable wall. The tension is the stimulus. The stimulus is what maintains strength. And strength, not cardio, not flexibility, is the single greatest predictor of how independently you will live in your final decades. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Raise your right arm and reach it slowly across your body toward the left, as if you are trying to touch something on a shelf far to your left. At the same time, let your eyes follow your hand. Hold for 3 seconds. Return. Switch sides. Repeat 10 times each side. This movement looks almost too simple to be meaningful. It is not. Here is what is actually happening. Every time you cross the midline of your body, that invisible vertical line running from the top of your head to between your feet, you force both hemispheres of your brain to communicate with each other simultaneously. The left brain controls the right side of the body. The right brain controls the left. Most daily activities use one side at a time. Crossing the midline forces both hemispheres to coordinate, activating the corpus callosum, the bridge between the two halves of your brain. Neurological research from Johns Hopkins has shown that regular cross-body movements in older adults measurably improve processing speed, working memory, and reaction time. In patients at risk for cognitive decline, these movements have been shown to slow deterioration by activating neural pathways that otherwise go dormant. Your body and your brain are not separate systems, they are one system. And this 2-minute movement trains them to work together. The final movement is the one I am most passionate about, because it is the one that modern life has stolen from almost everyone, and the one that, when you reclaim it, gives you back something profound. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, feet slightly wider than hip width, toes turned out slightly. Slowly lower yourself into a squat, holding the chair for support. Go as deep as is comfortable. If possible, bring your hips below your knees. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Rise slowly. Repeat 3 times. Every joint in your lower body, ankles, knees, hips, moves through its full natural range of motion in this position. The lumbar spine decompresses, the pelvic floor activates, the glutes, hamstrings, and deep hip rotators all engage simultaneously. This is the position the human body was designed to rest in. Before chairs existed, this was how people sat. And cultures that still use this position, in parts of Asia and Africa, have dramatically lower rates of hip arthritis, disc degeneration, and pelvic floor disorders. A 12-year longitudinal study tracking over 5,000 adults found that those who could perform a deep squat unassisted were 70% less likely to require assisted living in their later years. The squat was a better predictor of future independence than grip strength, walking speed, or cardiovascular fitness. Begin with the chair. Use the support. Over weeks, reduce how much you hold on. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to preserve the one thing that makes everything else in life possible, your independence. 6 movements. Every morning, in under 15 minutes. I am 87 years old. I drive myself to appointments. I walk without a cane. I sleep through the night. I have not taken a prescription medication in 11 years. I am not telling you this to boast. I am telling you this because I want you to understand this is available to you too. Not someday, not after you lose weight or join a gym or feel more motivated. Now, today, tomorrow morning when you wake up. Your body is extraordinarily resilient. It wants to heal. It wants to function. It simply needs you to give it the right signals every single day. These 6 movements are those signals. Start with 1. Do it every morning for 1 week. Add another. Build the habit slowly, and you will build something far more valuable, a body that carries you through the rest of your life with strength, dignity, and independence. That is the only goal that has ever mattered.